Ceci dit, nous allons procéder en passant au point 3 de notre agenda. Passer la parole au secrétariat sur les différents thèmes qui vont être développés au cours de cette session. Donc, malheureusement pour vous, M. Curtis, vous êtes de corvée, vous avez la parole.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Comme j'ai tout préparé en anglais, je vais passer en anglais, mais j'espère pouvoir revenir au français plus tard dans cette session. So with your indulgence, I'd like to provide some explanations concerning the documents that the Assembly will be examining during this session. All of the documents which were on the original provisional agenda were made available on the website of the Convention in 6 languages on the 7th of August of 2020. 2 more documents were made available nearer the session. One is an addendum and another is an additional item that has been added to the agenda of the session, and I will speak about them when I come to the relevant item for these documents. As usual, out of concern for the environment and as part of the cost-saving measures as well this year of the sanitary measures, the States parties are invited to download documents from the website, and we will not be distributing physical documents. Participants can download these documents to their computers from the dedicated website, which you have on the screen. Please don't hesitate to contact us if you need any help with that. There are 3 documents that you may wish to refer to during the course of these meetings, and they are LHE 28GA Inf 1, Summary Records of the 7th General Session of the Assembly, LHE 1914.com 4, Summary Records of the 13th Session of the Intergovernmental Committee, as well as the Summary Records of the 14th Session of the Intergovernmental Committee, which is titled LHE/20/15.com/4. These will be useful for specific agenda items to refresh your memory about your debates 2 years ago and to familiarize yourself with the debates of the last 2 committee sessions. During the session, you may also wish to refer to the basic text of the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, its 2018 edition, which is available on the website of the 2003 Convention with the link shown on the screens. And again, for sanitary measures, we are not distributing the hard copies during this session, as we normally do. For the item under discussion right now, namely the adoption of the agenda, item 3, there are 3 documents to consider. One working document, which is LHE/20/8GA/3, which is the adoption of the agenda. And there are 2 additional information documents, which are the provisional timetable, LHE 20/8GA Inf 3.1, and the provisional list of documents, LHE/20/8GA/Inf 3.2 Rev 4. So for this session, there are 17 items inscribed on the provisional agenda. And I will now present the items on the agenda together with the provisional timetable of their examination by the General Assembly, which you can see on the screens, as well as their related documents. Of course, the Bureau may adjust this timetable daily depending on the progress of the work. As you will see today, I won't read the screen out, I think you can see it. As you will see today, following the adoption of the agenda, the General Assembly will next examine the distribution of seats in the committee per electoral group, and then we will move to the examination of the 2 reports on our timetable, which are the report of the committee to the General Assembly, for which there are 2 committee sessions to report, as well as the report of the Secretariat on its activities. The report of the committee to the General Assembly will be presented by the Ambassador of Colombia on behalf of Ms. Maria Claudia Lopez Sorzano, who was the chairperson of the 14th session of the committee, and by the Ambassador of Mauritius on behalf of His Excellency Mr. Ropun, chairperson of the 13th session of the committee. Allow me now to bring to your attention that the report of the Secretariat has an addendum with a corresponding draft resolution, 8GA6 Ad. This addendum, which is unusual, it's not normally there, because it provides an overview of the activities undertaken by the Secretariat in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and therefore outside of the reporting period of the report of the Secretariat. I must say that the coronavirus is something none of us had expected, and we were not originally intending to plan for this session of the General Assembly to produce this document, and that is why the production of the document took longer than expected, and I do offer our apologies that this addendum only became available in all 6 languages yesterday. So I fully understand and appreciate that not all delegations, we fully understand, sorry, that not all delegations might have had a chance to study the document, but please be reassured that I intend to give a detailed oral presentation later today when we come to item 6, so that the content may be clear to everyone. Following the report of the Secretariat on its activities, there will be a brief oral report from the ICH NGO Forum, and for this report, given the exceptional circumstances this year, a pre-recorded video will be shown. They have given us their report by video. The final item foreseen for today is item 7 on the use of the resources of the Intangible Cultural Heritage Fund. This item also has an INF document, LH/20/8GA/INF, the financial statement for the period 1st of January 2018 to the 31st of December 2019. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, 9th of September in the morning, we will start with item 8, contribution to the preparation of the new medium-term strategy 2022 to 2029, the 41C4, and draft program and budget 2022-2025, 41C5, followed also in the morning by item 9 on intangible cultural heritage in emergencies. We will then devote the afternoon to 2 important and interrelated items, some of which we've already heard about this morning. We will discuss item 11, which provides an update on the reflection on the listing mechanisms of the convention, and it should be read together with the 14com document, LHE1914.com/14, which provides background information on this ongoing reflection process. And then we will discuss item 10, revision of the operational directives for the implementation of the convention, which concerns the operational directives related to the dialogue process which has been discussed over the last couple of years. The election for committee members, item 14, is foreseen for Thursday, 10th of September. And as I mentioned earlier, please note that in order to facilitate the presence of states parties for the vote, the morning session that day will start with the election at 10 a.m., regardless of advancement of the session by that time. The accompanying INF document, LHE/20/8GA/INF.14 Rev 3, lays out the list of candidate state parties for the election. I would also like to take this opportunity to remind you that the election of members of the committee shall be conducted by secret ballot in accordance with Rule 15 of the Rules of Procedure of the General Assembly, since we do not have a clean slate for all of the electoral groups. During the voting, delegates will be asked to cast their ballots in an urn to be situated near the podium, in the order of the country names according to the French alphabet. The voting delegates will follow a one-way circulation system for which indications are provided using blue arrows. I would like to once again request your cooperation for respecting physical distancing and sanitary measures during the election. There are 2 items related to NGOs. Item 12 deals with the update on the reflection on the participation of non-governmental organizations in the implementation of the convention. And then item 13 concerns the accreditation of non-governmental organizations to act in an advisory capacity to the committee, respectively. Finally, we will have one last item that has been added since the documents were initially published on 17th 7th of August. This item, number 15, deals with the follow-up to the recommendations of the open-ended working group on governance, procedures and working methods of UNESCO. The documents for this item was made available on 2nd September 1st in English, and other linguistic versions followed shortly thereafter. The session also includes any other business in case of need as the very last item, and the very last item, of course, is the closure of the session. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
C'est moi qui vous remercie, M. Curtis. Auriez-vous des questions au sujet de l'agenda, des thèmes qui ont été proposés et des documents présentés par M. Curtis? Je ne vois pas d'objection. Puis-je vous demander d'adopter la résolution 8GA3 qui, théoriquement, devrait être sur l'écran? S'il n'y a pas d'objection, adopté. Merci beaucoup. Nous allons à ce moment-là procéder, Monsieur le Secrétaire, au point suivant. Vous l'avez où? Ici, voilà, c'est bon. OK. Bien, je suis navré. Tout ceci, Monsieur le Secrétaire, aurait dû être fait. Bon, comme on vient d'être élu, je vous demande votre indulgence. Avant de commencer notre travail, il est important de vous expliquer comment nous allons conduire ce débat. Durant ce débat, je donnerai la parole aux États partis, dans lesquels ils demanderont la parole, bien sûr. Et il faut aussi encourager le plus possible de prendre la parole sur chaque point, au moins simplement une fois suffira si on est assez concis et précis. S'il est possible d'aller beaucoup plus loin, parce que si on veut faciliter notre propre travail, il serait bon de limiter les interventions à 2 minutes. Je comprends que cela peut paraître court, mais quand on est concis, il est largement suffisant. Si il fallait aller un peu plus au-delà, nous le ferions avec plaisir, mais je vous demande, compte tenu de l'importance et du nombre de points qu'on a à voir, d'être concis et précis. Je vous invite aussi les observateurs, les États qui ne sont pas partis à la Convention, les organisations intergouvernementales et non gouvernementales qui sont invités à notre réunion, à cette discussion générale, qu'ils peuvent également demander la parole et dans la limite du temps accordé. Un micro dans la salle leur sera remis et à ce moment, un important, il peut participer à la discussion en tant qu'observateur, mais pas s'ils ne sont pas membres des États partis. Comme vous le savez, notre document de travail, les documents de travail sont à votre disposition dans les 6 langues et vous pouvez vous-même aussi, durant les sessions, également sur l'écran, en anglais ou en français, pour l'adoption des résolutions. Je vous rappelle que sur l'article 11 des règles de procédure, tout changement significatif que vous souhaitez proposer doit être parvenu au secrétariat sous forme écrite. Si vous pouvez proposer des changements en français ou en anglais, cela faciliterait notre travail. Soyez sûrs et que tous ces changements, le secrétariat fera de son mieux pour qu'il l'intègre et distribue à l'avance conformément à l'article 11.2. Dans les circonstances particulières cette année et selon les mesures sanitaires strictes proposées, les documents peuvent être soumis par email, ne peuvent être soumis que par soumail et l'adresse est indiquée. Donc, comme vous voyez, votre coopération sur tous les plans pour nous aider à ce qu'on fasse un travail efficace et rapide est demandée. Si vous avez quelques questions que ce soit sur cette façon de travailler, n'hésitez pas. Et si aussi vous voulez passer à une procédure plus rapide, ce que je souhaite toujours, vous nous aiderez. Et s'il n'y a pas d'objection, ce qu'on vient de dire, s'il n'y a pas de rajout, nous pouvons passer au point suivant. Tout ça fait un peu amateur, mais ça fait un peu de charme. Donc, le point suivant, monsieur le secrétaire, s'il vous plaît. Bien, chef. Bien, je pense que ça ira mieux cet après-midi.